Now, and no Kuromo Germany Bundesliga now. Ubenya Bayern Munich is or St. Pauli were away. Then there's Mainz against Borussia Dortmund, then Bayer Leverkusen against Bochum. Then there's going to be RB Leipzig against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Now, with Bayer Leverkusen playing away to Bochum Ankasa on the league lock this season, Ankasa no more than the year. Leverkusen performances this season, and when you're consistent in terms of winning games, so be careful. Be very careful in terms of where how I'm from the city. Bochum any track to league in him. Out of possible 9 games in Bochum or 1 point. Bochum as 9 goals are considered 29. Fancy. That means Bochum form ne and said that form as well any cry. But Ochaki Leverkusen away from now on the league almost also fought out of possible 12 points, no more 8. This is a game they could win. Call for Bayer Leverkusen to win either half.
Okay.
Bayer Leverkusen to win either half against Bochum. Bochum ya one club I don't want time adie. But more suban bi wo mo so mo timi share big team bi mo so ahye or the bit tire Bayern Munich or the bit tire Borussia Dortmund. Hweniye, it's am say Leverkusen to win either half. Anytime goal scorer for Leverkusen call for a year Victor Boniface in this particular encounter against a VfL Bochum. We wait to so for Flow and Vet in this particular encounter against them. Then there's going to be men's 0-5 against Borussia Dortmund. On the league log, Borussia Dortmund also sit on more the same points at Leverkusen. But men's 0-5 no our 10 points out of possible 9 games ayabo, which means or averaging not less than 1 point per every single game. Was set 12 goals are considered 13 or also 13th on the league log. But Ochake ayo omu home form now. Almost said anya de ofie bebre sa. Home form now also 15th on the league log out of 5 games no mabo ofie no more 2 points. Almost 3 goals are considered 8. As compared to Borussia Dortmund now, on also away from Munye. Fancy Borussia Dortmund away from not also 16th on the league log.
Okodobo chance round Ebubuakem.
It is careful. Game way when the goals kakra me. Over 1.5. Over 1.5.
Anisha.
Just all corners are. And I said Borussia Dortmund to win the half. And I'm a Dortmund over 0.5. So options means I will a safe. Dortmund to win the half. Game over 1.5 and I'm a Dortmund over 0.5. Anything a Dortmund be should go in this particular game. Anytime goal scorer for Borussia Dortmund, ubetimi ako Ariama Gurasi in this particular encounter against Mainz 0-5. Two teams are back home form nye, back away form nye. But omumi no ebetimi apre ede ejina baby ama results etimi akoye ede amomo. Omo Mainz 0-5 no crampon in terms of omu goal scoring chart the kra no. Obenya obi kra ma netimi ede ahye goal na mawa. Then ubetimi akodi ama Nebel or Borokadat say ono ebetimi enya these goals no ede ama. But trust you me, go for Said Gurasi in this particular encounter against Mainz 0-5. Then there's St. Pauli and Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich travels away against St. Pauli. Bayern Munich leads the table with 23 points. And now RB Leipzig will be looking to catch up. Remember, Omuni Borussia Mönchengladbach game so. But St. Pauli is also 15th on the league log. St. Pauli if you form no enye. Omuto 16th. Out of possible 4 games no mabono omukuta 2 points with you. Fancy St. Pauli and share a single goal with you this season. St. Pauli and share a single goal. Bayern Munich to win either half due to Bayern Munich's quality not to score enough goals this season in terms of the league. And Bayern Munich is also tied to me consider. It's called with Bayern Munich to win either half on a safe note. And now betima Bayern Munich straight win on this particular game on a safe note. By Bayern Munich games, how are they a boapa corners? What's the Bayern Munich pana? During the middle crumple no mobile game, almost struggle and sound almost 1-0. Bayern Munich ball over 10 corners. As to when an opponent in the crumple more one, it will obetimi Bayern Munich corners no obekwa na handicap. Handicap ne say Bayern Munich bet your opponent ne corners better no asabo more corners scratch no. And also betima ko Bayern Munich corners over 5.5 and over 6.5. Because Bayern Munich corners ni tu na say us no for Bayern Munich winning games, Bayern Munich winning either half, Bayern Munich winning on over 1.5 ni so call for Bayern Munich corners in this particular encounter. Say Bayern Munich ebebo corners pa. Bayern Munich the pressure be so they will play a lot of corners in this particular game. Anytime goal scorer for Bayern Munich call for Harry Kane in this particular encounter, say obetimi enya go ede amomo. Then there's RB Leipzig and Borussia Mönchengladbach. Fancy Di Maria. Difficult game and
another tricky game.
Another very tricky game. But ocheke RB Leipzig this season ankasa in the league. Ewo omo fie no. Fancy omo ho den enhye da nisuru when it comes to winning games. But omo ya akoye draw masters kakra ofi. It will check it table out of 4 games no mabono kuta 10 points. But almost say 8 goals are considered 1. That means if you know in terms of keeping enough clean sheet no more. It equal RB Leipzig double chance against Borussia Mönchengladbach. But Borussia Mönchengladbach so form no away no moto so 13th out of 4 games no more 4 points. Almost 4 goals are considered 5. That means on my way from Munye. On my way from Munye. But between these two sides, what makes it quite tricky in here? Nay say Borussia Mönchengladbach no any Leipzig bar or no a fear and no Timisha Leipzig but away Edin Sobesha Leipzig. In the last 5 encounters our body at here Leipzig no were really 2-2 in there only fear no share that particular games. But the away from Mönchengladbach has been purely bad. Omo we need 1 away game per in the last 5 away games on Mabo. Omo ko share Vel by 5 goals low and okay DFB what Pokal in the league their strength is not there. But at the back omo making sure some beti my no say go no and I need to be more by Leipzig fear no omo hoden no e was through it Leipzig to win either half or Leipzig double chance in this particular game and also Bema Leipzig over 0.5 in this particular encounter. In this particular game, so anytime goal scorer for IB Leipzig, you can choose between either Lois Openda or Benjamin Sesko in this particular encounter against them. Then away from the Germany Bundesliga, quickly, Italian Serie A games so but Yemra the La Liga because La Liga no 3 games be one may key mame because Italian Serie A no be another key games be so. Real Madrid is going to play against Osasuna na me adomene. There are huge problems for Real Madrid. Real Madrid will need to start getting back to winning ways as soon as possible. This weekend, Real Madrid failed to win this particular game. Barcelona bet me at 3 league in more points because last weekend Real Madrid are more. So Ojina is saying Real Madrid on 24 points, Barcelona on 33 points. It means he say this season Akasano Barcelona trimu 9 points with Real Madrid having a game in hand. It is a Real Madrid now more home body and Timia shows Osasuna. This season and that's what Timia more home body and winner. Barcelona bet me 3 points gap in the move. A be at 12 and 11 or 10, dependent on where Real Madrid will even find themselves in terms of where the league table. And Real Madrid own penny sir because Barcelona winning now or cost why day. Because and so bet me recover. And these are games you can use it to keep your season on track. Carlo Ancelotti akọtena press conference as akwakodim komo say omo ye hu the solution to the problem that they have. I'm only hopeful that they could get a good result against Osasuna. Osasuna so one particular team or have big teams in the power. This season we're teaming Barcelona and there's going to be enough confidence from them coming up against Real Madrid to do something against them. But Real Madrid could be happy against Osasuna say in the last 5 encounters between Real Madrid and Osasuna, Osasuna team say only 1 point in a day free Real Madrid which happened in 2022 against Real Madrid on 10th February. That means in the 2nd round of the league, and on Real Madrid by 1-1. That was a game at Garcia, Ebete Cano, Abra Vinicius Jr. I said the first goal, they are Real Madrid. And they, say Real Madrid, almost possible lineup due to whatever that is happening. When we say Masafa by story, it's a follow Mende. Everything me abo as a central defensive midfielder they are Real Madrid. But you can say or try risky or right back. Or try Militao right back. And I think say they are trying to find a solution to the issues of Lucas Vazquez. How are quite exposed. But this is a Real Madrid team that could also go to the back and make sure so much more maximizing the quality of Lucas Vazquez in terms of the attacking quality. And Francis, all this is all call with the trebacker. You can have Tchouaméni, you can have Rudiger, and you can have Eder Militao. Then you can have Folo Mendy, then Lucas Vazquez playing as your fullbacks. Then Aubameyang in the midfield of Camavinga, or even Camavinga and Vardy, and also Luka Modric or Jude Bellingham, all these guys in the middle of the park. Then Jude Bellingham supporting the attack in the middle or up front. Real Madrid beat media goals. But I'm skeptical and I'm willing to see whatever that Carlo Ancelotti wore up in his gloves to solve Real Madrid's issue and the problem that they've been having. Omu defensive air structure him said the city better than they be a boss. And against Osasuna, it's really going to be a test of time between these two sides. Osasuna this season, and bad fancy Di Maria between Osasuna and Real Madrid, 3 points. And don't move in term. Osasuna were 21 points, Real Madrid were 24 points. But Osasuna conceded goals, baby. Omu issue no because almost 17 goals I conceded 60. As compared to Real Madrid was 21 goals I conceded 11. Just as Barcelona I conceded. And you look at on the league log in terms of home and away form. Real Madrid in terms of their home games out of possible 18 or much more accumulated 15. Almost 14 goals, ekuta 7, and almost concede 7 air goals. As compared to Osasuna, almost a 12. Almost went from almost 4 goals, I concede 8. Out of 5 games, no more 5 points. It's Osasuna against Real Madrid. Ne one game and to me Real Madrid. Media started their good season that they've always wanted. It will be a straight Real Madrid win against Osasuna. They will turn it around in this particular game. They will use this game to prepare themselves going into the international break, and I think they will give them a very, very good fight. But as to Real Madrid, keep clean sheet, a honey assembly bibi or honey kakra. Real Madrid bet me keep clean sheet.
Osasuna shego Benabao.
Osasuna bet me shego Benabao. Fancy. Oh yes. Omune Real Madrid Osasuna. Real Madrid na kasa omo form no enhyeda enye saa. Omo form no enhyeda enye saa. Ana omo chire oni leaky. Dependent on how they are going to solve, but to for safely safe for you for Real Madrid straight win. And Real Madrid to win in that half. Anytime goal scorer, obetimi akọ e de ama Vinicius Junior or Kylian Mbappe. Ana Kylian Mbappe ne watimi aye ne nyankoma de no ama goal etimi apiemu e de ama Real Madrid. But open risky no betimi ama Osasuna over 0.5. Obetimi ama Osasuna over 0.5. Say omu betimi e de IBB in this particular game. Say oh pe obi obenya goal de ama Osasuna. Don't forget your man Budimea. Say ono ebetimi erem. Budimea has been a good player for Osasuna this season in terms of the number of goals he's been scoring for them. Say on the Subis Marco with a risky bet at the Amano, say obetimi aye. Then you look at Barcelona, say Nyamea Duma Sunday on when Real Sociedad. When it used to be Anoeta, that is when we had problems with FC Barcelona going away, going to play against a Real Sociedad. But I think it's a fixture we all need to look up to because Osasuna Kwakolusu to Pleasant by 2-1 away. But between these two sides, in the last few encounters, last season Barcelona Sociedad by 1-0. It was a tough encounter between Barcelona and Sociedad. It took Ronald Araujo in the 90+2 minutes. And Sana Onya the only goal at Yama Barcelona. Emesana Okuno. But Yenya Barcelona Aquacose Real Sociedad by 4-1. Omabeso and Omatina Fiashe Real Sociedad by 1-0. Real Sociedad Aquasha Barcelona by 2-1. Then Barcelona Aquasha by 1-0 last season. And this last season and then Barcelona will fee Esasoshomo by 2-0. But in terms of two teams in Inano, Real Sociedad feel form in the last 5 games. Fancy and Yakroma Winibakope. In the last 5 home games, Real Madrid akosha omu 2-0. Omu Valencia by 3-0. Omu lusu to Anderlecht by 2-1. Omu ne Atletico Madrid by 1-1. Then Osasuna akosha omu by 2-0. Nes omu fie nenye. As compared to FC Barcelona in terms of their away form, omu lusu ba akope. It was a 4-2 against Osasuna. Omu akosha Villarreal 5-1. Barcelona akosha Alaves by 3-0. Omu Real Madrid by 4-0. Or Marshall Rest Belgrade by 5-2. Barcelona has a solid chance in this game to win. Call Barcelona straight win. And Barcelona to win either half against Real Sociedad. Anytime goal scorer for Barcelona, call for Robert Lewandowski in this particular encounter. I know said they will be bouncing. There will be a lot of pressure. Omoboko Stadium, but trust you me. Form Nekuta Barcelona. The results Nekuta Barcelona. The away quality. Kuta Real Sociedad no oman one dem form. It trust you me. Robert Lewandowski will carry the day for FC Barcelona in these particular games. Obibo Busa said na Atletico Madrid embo this weekend. Atletico Madrid ebo this particular weekend, but Atletico Madrid ebo the etia Mallorca away. You're careful. Atletico Madrid over 0.5. Anytime goal scorer. For Julian Alvarez. Atletico Madrid over 0.5 so be go and go trying to win. A tricky game away, especially against a Mallorca team or Mahmoudin. Also. Then to the Italian Serie A. Se Corremo the Italian Serie A, Francis Di Maria. Their key games a bit in about AC Milan and body at Cagliari. AC Milan in the last few games, as more form ne kakra de mame. Because check on more last 5 games or Metimia Bonoma Lusuba Cope. Which means Paulo Fonseca is getting his team into shape. And Tijani Renders you see for fan partnership likely say because midweek Pavlovich and starting game no be a sure say Malik Thiaw any Pavlovic, Ebeye or centre back, Mike Menu better posting him. There is going to be Theo Hernandez. But I think we are going to see David Calabria come in at the right back for AC Milan. In the midfield double pivot of Yusuf Fofana and Tijani Reinders, Christian Pulisic, Ubenya Chukwueze, and also Ubenya Rafael Leao in this particular team, then Alvaro Morata. Now, you look at the setup and the team and what they want to put across with this particular AC Milan team. And they be a catcher say, you only needed a player that is going to do the dirty work for Tijani Reinders. A lot of people are talking about Tijani Reinders, but Makano say, Akoda way, baby at the free, baby onyani ball musu and the free, Free Netherlands on what they have PMO Italy. The technical quality he gives you in your team, and a broad draining so. And even for the Netherlands team in the Euros here, Fancy, there is nobody who was technically secured on the ball more than Tijani Reinders in this particular team. But the biggest asset amount for the Ronaldo and line breaking passes. In the Euros, there was a specific gamer on ball more than 10 line breaking passes for the Netherlands national team. So it tells you what he brings in whenever he picks up the ball from the deep. So his quality as a press resistant is not only about moving through tight spaces, but now training the intelligence to break lines of opponents. And against Real Madrid, we saw it. And the box to box, arriving late in the box to pick up these balls and put it at the back of the net, a play key role. And I think he's becoming the mastermind in the middle of the pack for Paulo Fonseca's AC Milan. And against Cagliari, they will need to perform above their optimal levels to get results against Cagliari. In the last 5 games between AC Milan and Cagliari intimidated AC Milan. And AC Milan games no money on na AC Milan shekura no 2 goals in these encounters. 2 goals in these encounters. It is AC Milan double chance and over 1.5 in this particular encounter against Cagliari. Ebe key at the amount. And I open the save so I call AC Milan to win either half against Cagliari. Anytime goal scorer for AC Milan, call for Christian Pulisic. Say obetimi and your goal at the amount. And I say Rafael Leao. You can choose between any of them in this particular aspect. Cagliari and Casano move fear form and Casano in the last 5 matches. No more to me every need 2. That was 1-0 against Cremonese. Then 3-2 against Torino. But they've lost to Bologna, they've lost to Empoli, and they've lost to Napoli. As compared to AC Milan, in terms of their away form, almost lose 2. 2 no lose to Bayer Leverkusen. And then Fiorentina. Fiorentina team and Leverkusen. These are 2 top teams and no more from power. But they've been able to manage results against Inter Milan 2-1 away. Omakoshe Monza 1-0 away. And Omakoshe Real Madrid by 3-1. AC Milan are not the West Side when it comes to away games. So against Cagliari in this particular encounter, Fancy Di Maria, I'm tipping AC Milan to win either half. And I call for AC Milan double chance and over 1.5 in this particular encounter. Anytime goal scorer, Christian Pulisic or Rafael Leao, you can choose in between any one of them in this particular encounter against Cagliari.
Okay.
Away from AC Milan, Omar Juventus in Torino. Juventus coming into this particular encounter, near situations, injury situations, or more. Western Brahma is not part of this team. They are missing Nico Gonzalez. They are missing Arkadiusz Milik, and Yen himself Pogba they are far away. But all Torino team now, Torino, MSL, Elkan in this particular setup, Obama Messi Sava in this particular team, then Pierre Schuss in this particular team, then Duvan Zapata a long injury. And Duvan Zapata was the key man for them throughout the season. On to say Priane Yeden, Ebaye, or Jida, so I know Bobo the 2 net and Kwana Ed, so bet match the free him. But Mijitum said this is the Turin derby. It has always been a derby due to these 2 teams. I'm winning a free Turin. But continue to me say, whoa.
Derby de la Capitale.
Yes, Derby de la Capitale. It's a derby game. But results between these 2 sides doesn't show say a derby game. Fancy, in the last 5 encounters between these 2 sides, Torino and Timi and Juventus. 1-1 in 2022, Juventus shot by 1 goal to 0 in 2022. 2023, Juventus shot by 4 goals to 2. Juventus shot by 2 goals to 0 in 2023. Then last season, yeah, and the Yano, Omumionu ebo goalless. Juventus on the league log and their form. I will fear no Juventus every 1 game pair in the last 5 games of year. Almost share Lazio by 1 goal to 0. Juventus ni Napoli abo goalless. Almost the Cagliari abo 1-1. Almost Lazio 1-0 no. The American Stuttgart abese Juventus by 1 goal to 0. And almost Parma abo 2-2. But we check it Torino in terms of that way now. Almost lose 3 as a 2. 2 no came back in August and September. Abra almost share Venezia by 1 goal to 0. And almost share Verona by 3-2. But they've lost 3-2 against Inter Milan. They've lost 3-2 against Cagliari. And they've lost 1-0 against Roma. Caught Juventus double chance in this game. Safe.
Sports.
And I'm a Juventus over 0.5. Safe. Risky. Juventus win.
Juve over 0.5 is a bit awful.
Fancy. And now because it's safe
Okay.
and risky.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, kaboma, na kaboma. Ubenya bebre. And premu bebre. So the one city you could hear kufa do pay. Ubeti medibi. Ewo iti betu no kwa. The actually said you know wudi nkomona.
Yes.
Obey okay. Now Juventus, I strongly believe, sir, in the absence of Bremer, Juventus are actually going to line up with key players in post. Ubenya Gigoro, then Ubenya Kabal, Gatti, Kalulu, Kaviaso, Marco, Turam Ninuano,
Kefran
Turam, then Manolo Catele, Kumenes, Consensao, Yodes, then Dusan Vlahovic. Anytime goal scorer for Juventus, call for Kumenes or Dusan Vlahovic. Choose any between one of them. You'll be okay in this particular encounter for Juventus or Edietia Torino. Torino are they know from, but we are looking for a set they could pick up as soon as possible due to Duvan Zapata and the issues no now. Atlanta Bebo Udinese. My home people will be Atlanta or from the Atlanta back will show Udinese. Very physical game. Could double chance Atlanta in this particular game. Anytime goal scorer for Ademola Lookman. A quick review of or preview of that particular game. It's a man who the Bebre Atlanta, the Ombeshe Bebre, you're careful. Udinese, they are too physical, they are aggressive. They'll give Atlanta the run for their money. And Atlanta share big teams, no team no more. But do some teams be say ya. Now feel more to papa son kakaka because of mutimi or mode. Say a we I didn't intimi me we. It's a careful. It's an amseko safe double chance. Risk you bet Atlanta straight win and even over 1.5. By safe, go for Atlanta double chance. Anytime goal scorer, I'll bet for Ademola Lookman in this particular game. Frontina Beshe Verona Ufie. Frontina form near pa in the league, and they've maintained 100% record. And almost sure Eddie, if you know what they know through. So trust you me, Frontina will do justice in that particular game. AS Roma will be playing against Bologna. Fancy difficult game for Ivan Juric. He needs to get things going as soon as possible to get results. But trust you me, Mama Frontina anytime goes score. Frontina anytime goes score. For a free Juventus Besinko, France in the guy, Kone.
Ibrahim Akona.
No.
Jonathan Ikone.
Not Jonathan Ikone. No more.
Fiorentina.
Moise Kean.
Moise Kean mum. And yet Jonathan Ikone. Moise Kean in this particular game. Say Obetimama or more results. AS Roma against Bologna. AS Roma was Obetima Shepa because Bologna will come in tough game. 3 at the back. Ombe put AS Roma on their toes. But AS Roma in this particular game against Bologna attempt off big, but AS Roma double chance. Play it safe. Said the bear and control. Lazio go against Monza. And Lazio win. Yeah, Lazio to win either half, and I'm a Lazio over 0.5. Anytime goal scorer for Lazio, Betima Pedro in this particular encounter against Monza. Then there's going to be the big one. Between Inter Milan and Napoli. This is a top of the table clash. Also, normally, you see, the southern sector and the northern sector of Italian football has always raised questions about the differences in terms of the economic stature of these two parts. The ATM makers are saying, say, more from no more the other part in to me. Say, there be, I say, yeah, Napoli for now, or the southern party, you see, Casemiro and your Masemo from Kakra. You may be an animal with a copy most, be an animal copy most, because a hawk, Anna Moniji, and Milan, I say, Milan, I say. So, a brown movie so my dim kunimno, a brad, Diego Armando Maradona, a buyer, a buomo, etimi, a diomo J, the league title this year, Monaso Sadio Mokoji, the UEFA Cup. So they've always felt inferior at some point, but Maradona gave them a voice against this particular part of the Italian teams. Inter Milan, Juventus, AC Milan, normally a dominant force. So whenever Napoli goes into such matters, it is a matter of war between these two regions where they need to deliver at all costs and show themselves at the top of the game. Say, yang, and yet so. And you'll be and a bit ready sitting fan. So these games mean so much to them. But the different dimension apart from the geographical rivalry between these sides, what they told Kenya about the competitive nature of these two teams in the last few years. What check the last 2 seasons, some more Magic League now, Napoli, any Inter Milan. Anaji League in the DSC Omonaso. AC Milan beji di twem, but mu free honum koy no. Victor Osimhen and Luciano Spalletti mu beji league ni bi one Kivicha kwa Scalia. Inter Milan and Simone Inzaghi mu so beji league title ni bi DSC Omonaso. Then they yesebo league ni so no. O check league log na eyo mu mienu another league ni so. Oba check Napoli no 25 points, Inter Milan 24 points. So we the geographical rivalry domu mienu in terms of the two unchenya. The competitive nature between these two teams, you know, in the last 3 seasons has proven to be on top. One team and making sure say players or performing even in the Champions League. The other team attacking the coach. For the number. No one say own team in Fanya Jumana. But between day and night, Antonio Conte has also reversed the situation of Napoli and has made them title contenders in this particular situation. And the quality ne woman no ebededi nyame aduma enenumere. Sunday enumere. Na me sure pass between these two teams. Yenim say obenche some key players be doing the midweek in the Champions League. Antonio Conte will relax ono obo one match bia every week. Ono so otire sade na you're very careful. Obetima show se trobia waso betima ehye. But these are two coaches so fancy Di Maria. What the bibia to nchen in the history of the Italian Serie A. Omo prove say 3-back system no betimi dia ba be league na omo di ba be dominant. Antonio Conte with Juventus. And Antonio Conte na aso de to kwasa de akwa league aso de aba. And the Simone Inzaghi also the 3-back na be league with Inter Milan.
So similar system
in this particular encounter, and two coaches are Omadjuma so yede eso ani yepa e Mauro Sasu mfisi Antonio Conte asako ye adwuma wo Inter Milan abroad Inter Milan Sasu G League no ono ne free one man Simone Inzaghi be yede e bae it encounter we be many mouth watering things to think about apart from what we see between the northern sector or the northern region in Italy and the southern region in Italy. My test be and I say be betimi ehunu between two teams or more pray for the league. Ebe my coaches mienu bi abaku bi aye adwuma wo hase a wode aba. Ebe so my another enticement of 3-back system between these two coaches. Why there ene betimi adi nkunim at the end of the night. It will check you head in here. Inter Milan, because someone feel some players been into no. Rest assured say this weekend, you know, Francesco Akebi best at it. Bastoni best at the amomo. Then Oba Benya Stefan Di Vrij so no best at the amomo. Jan Sommer imposed. Then Obenya the wing backs. Yenim say players be Timian started the amomo, but there's definitely going to be Denzel Dumfries. If there's Denzel Dumfries, then there's going to be DiMarco. The man informed, the best wing back in the Italian Serie A, and all from the best in place of Matteo Darmian. In the middle of the pack, trust you me, there's going to be your Nicolo Barrera with Hakan Çalhanoğlu, then Henrik Mkhitaryan. Then up front, you are going to get your Marcus Thuram, any Lautaro Martinez, picking up the pieces for them. On the other hand side, Antonio Conte bekon within a 3-back. And Obako within a 4-back. Or Kobo 3-back it's Atlanta. No. Atlanta call for man-to-man marking. Into one who baby or then home befa. Second half no sasa call the 4-3-3. Or decided so call the 4-3-3 and he still maintains some key players within the setup. I know you behu. Yenim said Di Lorenzo ebebamu into contest with this particular discussion I make ewa hanum. They will try and make sure say 3-back ni Di Lorenzo Crampo and Ebo as the right center backer. At the back line, you are definitely going to see Borgiano and Ramani. Di Lorenzo. In the middle of the park, no, you are going to see your Billy Gilmore, any Scott McTominay, Anna Anguissa. Then wing backs, no, trust you, me say how the Politano be soon as a wing back. Nyame Adoma Sando decided to go with the 3-back now on the right wing back. No, you see Matias Oliveira at the left wing back. Then up front, no, the 2 players in Kivicha Kvaratskhelia and Romelu Lukaku Bolingoli. But me assure say Obesuru kakra. It's your Robert said that be my man call with the 4-back and kakra said the Juventus omudi team I don't know and stretch the pitch. Said about Politano Babe supported Lorenzo kakra. Said about DiMarco no any opportunity in the crosses baby. So decided to call with the 4-back now. You still have your Borgiano and Ramani. Then you still have your Oliveira and Di Lorenzo as your back 4. But I call with the 3 midfield now. Ebe Anguissa, Scott McTominay and Billy Gilmore. Then up front, Ubenya Politano, with Romelu Lukaku Bolingoli and Kivicha Kvaratskhelia. These two teams and their results, Fancy Di Maria, in the last few games are yet to me. Inter and Napoli ball last season 1-1. Inter kwashe Napoli by 1-0. Inter kwashe Napoli by 3-0. Napoli say Inter by 3-1. And Inter show by 1-0. So in the last 5 encounters, Inter Milan are winning 3. Bakwa ending in a draw. And Napoli winning 1. But in terms of their home and away form, in the away form or the away form for Napoli on the league log, France the TNA, lose 1 in the last 5 encounters. 5 in the last 5 encounters, no. Verona and a Somo by 3 goals to 0. That is the opening game of the league. So Bekaya and yes, Antonio Conte.
Yeah, since then
they no lose game yet to so be Atlanta. Omuko say Cagliari by 4 goals to 0. Omuni Juventus go goalless. And Omuni Empoli omuko say omu by 1 goal to 0. And omuko say AC Milan by 2 goals to 0. Debiani Akase the next 5 encounters for Antonio Conte will prove if he's ready to win the league or not. And so 5 encounters now aboni in the fancy. Obe check here aboni send the form near there. Because in the last 5 encounters here the rating no. What team we need 2 elusumu bako. It's against Inter Milan will prove. Say Antonio Conte were ready for the league and I say Onye ready for the league. Inter Milan at home omun lusu game in the last 5 matches. Fancy Di Maria Omashe Resta 5-0. Omashe Torino 3-2. Omunu Juventus Sabo 4-4. Omashe Venezia by 1 goal to 0. And Omashe Arsenal by 1 goal to 0. Or more experience in terms of individual quality. Could double chance for Inter Milan in this particular game. Safe. Open no risky swa. Obetimi ama Napoli over 0.5. And also my Inter Milan win. That is risky. Anytime goal scorer for Inter Milan in big games, trust you me, Marcus Thuram will be there. Marcus Thuram will be there in this particular encounter. Now back for Henrik Mkhitaryan. Any of the two, Obetimi Chusuba could be Nadia Kwakoko. But I think this is a game we'll all be looking up to and looking forward to say Yebetimashe. Tactics, formation, coaches, enticement on the touchline, the geographical rivalry between these two sides, and everything you need in this particular game will be there. Safe Inter Milan double chance in this particular encounter against Napoli. Then Yamra England. Niema these particular games are a bit me akoso with the English Premier League. Now me say na me adoma e be chance here. West Ham anka say me say no man show mo coach no be pamo no.
On is any take it come.
And put me later because of man because Everton team need that form. 1-9. But games beat to say Brentford and Bournemouth. Ubetimi akọ goals over 1.5. Games beat to say Crystal Palace. But anytime goal scorer for between Brentford and Bournemouth, Ubetimi akọ for Brian Mbeumo. In this particular A game for Brian Mbeumo between Brentford and Bournemouth over 1.5. Between Crystal Palace and Fulham. Crystal Palace picking up the pieces getting in the last few games. Trust you me, Momo over 0.5 will fear. Momo over 0.5 will fear. Anytime goal scorer, call for Mateta in this particular game, or Eze, to make you in between any one of them. But for Fulham, call for Emil Smith Rowe in this particular game, so Betty or Alex Iwobi in this particular game. Until you can pick any one of them. Mm-hmm. Then you look at West Ham near Everton. This is a game Everton over 0.5. West Ham they've shown that they can concede. Meaning say haram ball pan Everton ball. But this is a game for Everton over 0.5 in this particular encounter. Anytime goal scorer for Everton, will be for McNeil or Calvert-Lewin in this particular game against West Ham. All the another tone chair, over here Wolverhampton Wanderers in Southampton. Wolverhampton Wanderers will fear no results. And I think since I feel moment to me first win of the league against this game, I think that this is the time they are going to win a game. Wolves will win their first game in the league this weekend against Southampton. They will win. Anytime goes for Matthias Cunha, they will win. This is a game they will win. They will win. Only game we have win the bedroom. Normally they are international.
Oh, Sampa, this is.
Yeah, normally they are international break in the game. Wow. They've been playing so well.
But that's a international break beyond. So I am a big teams may be disappointed.
Oh yes, and I remember Barcelona.
Okay.
It's Weber and Brighton and Manchester City. Brighton has always shown courage in their possessive nature of their team, but only a porous, and they make little mistakes. And on the mass, some about because City know all little mistakes now by the City on far home jail. And in Holland, Mamba Prebon their tournament. They will be competitive today, but I don't think they have the honors to win against Manchester City.
And as a City now, so and shouldn't cause it.
But how porous are Brighton? You're much on. They have certain stages in the game where they play so well and they create so well. And they have certain stages in the game where fancy can crabby and also more relaxing. And no more pass the bar. Now if you want to lose to the they've lost to Liverpool twice in a week. I know. Saying a mere Duma, they will make sure say our players are moving on by Van Bruggen in post, Veltman at the right back, Van Haken Igo in the centre back role, and Stupinian, Fedi Kadioglu, or Muyu more as a winger. No matter what you got to the back. It's build up on the sun and it to be a. Then what about Benya Hishawood, any Ayari, then Mitoma, then Warbeck, any Ruta up front. Manchester City will likely fill up their own players. Rico Lewis, Manola Kanji, Muba Benya, the likes of Ruben Dias, Mudo, prepare now the team change. A crown of person body de pussy. Aye. But I think say missing players like Ruben Dias, Oscar Bob, Jack Grealish, Rodri and John Stones has been a massive problem for them. But Kovacic will be in the midfield. Ike Gandogan will be in to make sure there's going to be a Ellen Hallard, there's going to be a Phil Foden. Dokuaba, there's going to be Savino and Doku. Almost stretchy pitch, said yeah, on also be Yusumi Toma. And yeah, Dingram on the my year, Jumano. On also be stretchy pitch in the party here. Where a game a over 1.5 between City and Brighton. Over 1.5. My Brighton over 0.5. Brighton will get a goal.
Right?
Oh, Brighton will get a goal. Brighton will get a goal. And in the last few encounters between these two sides, in fancy, it has been quite funny. By City Shomu 4-0 last season. City has Shomu 2-1. But Muni City ball 1-1 under Roberto Di Zerbi. City Shomu by 3 goals to 1. City Shomu by 3 goals to 0. But the away from Manchester City has not actually been bad as we seem it to be. And Ohiana City every need 2, LUC 3. City share Bratislava 4-0. Almost share Wolves by 2 goals to 1. But they lost 2-1 against Tottenham. They lost 2-1 against Bournemouth. And they lost 4-1 against Sporting CP. But you look at Isusu home game or Lusu Bakope. That is Liverpool Beshomo 3-2 and Ukrainian League fancy near the EFL Cup. Liverpool Kubucha. But money Wolves about 2-2. Almost Tottenham 3-2. Almost Nottingham Forest. Almost Nottingham about 2-2. No match Wolves by 3 goals to 2. City will be up for the tax. They've been scoring a goal at least. And I'm say my Brighton over 0.5. Safe City to win either half in this particular encounter. Anytime goal scorer for Brighton and Hove Albion. Ubetimako for Danny Warbeck. Anytime goal scorer for Manchester City, Ubetimako for Ellen Brown, Haaland, or Phil Foden in this particular encounter. Away from that particular game, Liverpool will be playing for Aston Villa. I think Liverpool will have trouble today.
Super Sports. Aston Villa.
Liverpool will have trouble today.
As Liverpool still finds a way.
Oh, Liverpool are more than also. Oh, there's no Liverpool remains the favorite in this particular game, but be careful.
They always find a way.
In the last 5 away games for Aston Villa, fancy Okoshe Wycombe 2-1. On a Ipswich Bowl 2-2. On Fulham, or Fulham 3-1. And a Tottenham share 4-1, a Club share 1. Which means top clubs in the air they Aston Villa away this season. Ochaki even understand this in terms of the away form of Aston Villa. Aston Villa are the 5th best away side on the league log. Or match 10 goals are considered 9. Almost 10 points out of 15 possible points. Ochaki Liverpool in terms of their home record. Liverpool are the 4th best home team. Out of 15 points, Liverpool 12. Team Benekoshen and Nottingham. But in the last few encounters between these two sides, meaning say be moved battle injury. Aston Villa be say Ross Barkley, and Matty Cash. But Liverpool be say Alisson, Federico Chiesa, Diego Jota, and Elliott, which means a old injuries. So likely they are going to maintain their key players we've always seen. In the last 5 games for Aston Villa, fancy they've been poor. Aston Villa winning back up. Game Aston Villa winning in the last 5 games of Motimia Bono. A game against Bologna, almost by 2 goals to 0. 4 games in a twice. No money bomb about 1-1. Omo lose 2-1 to Crystal Palace. Omo lose 4-1 at Tottenham Hotspur. And Omo lose 1-0 to Club Brugge. In terms of form, Omo form in Liverpool. But what check the encounters between these two sides in the last few games are Liverpool shomu 3-0 last season. Liverpool knew about 1-1. Liverpool shomu 1-0. Liverpool shomu 2-1. Liverpool shomu 2-0. That means in the last 5 encounters between Aston Villa and Liverpool, Aston Villa for 1 point per. Liverpool are more than you know. I was coming into this particular encounter. Liverpool will go in with Kunate, Van Dijk, Chimikas, Alexander Trent-Arnold, Gravenberch and McAllister, Zoboslai, Luis Diaz, Mohamed Salah.
International America say they will find a way.
Gakpo, they will find a way.
Yeah, because as a Obi Obe starting Obi Obe Bambiano, or Bob Abe and Juma say the manager nepe.